So when Cruz did that, pulled that stunt, and that's when I think there began an awareness in this country. What the hell are these guys doing? And Cruz has. I'm going to come out of you say that in the email that you sent me about Lisa Marie Presley. Personal belief, Scientology sent her in to marry Michael Jackson. It's a beard. It's a shill to try and get him into Scientology. It's personal belief. What do you do with that?
I'm not. I don't really know what happened exactly.
Yeah, that's why I said it's belief.
But I do know that they target celebrities. They try to get big celebrities in. Yeah. I have talked quite a bit about, because I was part of getting Tom Cruise lured in.
And we're going to talk about that later. Yeah.
In the international headquarters in California, and him getting very special treatment and whatnot. And I do know for sure that at least when they found out that Lisa Marie Presley was sort of interested in Michael Jackson, that they were very interested. And I know they talked to her. What they said, I can't say.
Because you don't know.
Right. I just wasn't part of those conversations.
She was married to a guy named Danny Keough.
Yes. I've met Danny, actually.
Danny's a bass player or something. Lives in Hawaii. And I'm just a geek about this stuff. I don't know why I'm drawn to it. But did she leave Danny Keough on purpose to hook up with Michael Jackson?
Yeah, they had 2 kids.
Yeah, I know.
And she just sort of divorced him.
Yeah.
And
she's back with him now, I guess.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
I think I read that they're back together. And that's what really, because Michael Jackson, who's clearly a child molester, and so he needs a beard. He needs some protection.
Yeah.
And are they Seventh-day? No, they're not Adventists. They are.
The Jackson family?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, the mom is into, I don't know if she's an Adventist but she's, because he was going around knocking on doors when he was a kid. But she shows up suddenly, and he marries him I was sure it was a beard. And they were, for a cup of coffee, and then she was out of there. Yeah.
It was shocking. I couldn't believe it when it happened.
Oh, please, my God. Michael Jackson being married. Me too. So, I always thought that she was set in there by the church to do that.
Yeah, and I can't really say. It could be.
Cruz. Everybody talks about Cruz. And I have not read. I tried to buy this recent book. Have you? Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what they were. They were Jehovah's Witnesses. Thank you.
Okay.
Have you read the latest this Cruz biography? Have you seen it or read it?
I haven't actually read it. I've read parts. I'm actually quoted in there.
Okay.
Because Andrew Morton did interview me.
Okay.
From what I've gathered, it's actually pretty accurate. And some of the more wild claims, like that they froze L. Ron Hubbard's sperm.
And that's the kid.
And the Surrey is the son or the daughter.
Yeah.
He says in there that he doesn't really say that in there. He says some people have said that. And that kind of got taken out of proportion. From what I've, or out of context, I'm sorry. But from what I've been able to gather, it's actually an accurate representation.
Do you think the kid really is Ron Hubbard's kid?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because Tom Cruise has a daughter now.
Right.
And with Nicole Kidman, the kids were always adopted kids.
Yeah.
Is he gay?
Evidently not. I don't really know for sure. I've actually met him.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Dealt with him.
Yeah. Remember, that was still remains the big rumor in the books.
But in Andrew Morton's book, the latest one, he basically comes to the conclusion that he is not.
Okay.
Because he interviewed a lot of former lovers and things.
All right. But they adopted the kids, and then he has a kid, and then the big rumor was it was Ron Hubbard's sperm.
Yeah.
And this was the promised child.
Yeah.
And they made up a name for the kid, I guess. They claimed this name, and it wasn't really real or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that troubles me at all. But how? Let me do this. We're 18 after the hour of 8, 8:18, Travolta. I don't get any of this. 8:18, 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station. We'll also talk about the secret international headquarters of Scientology, and then ultimately why you left. Our guest is Bruce Hines. I'm Peter Boyles, 630 KHOW, up to the minute traffic, 18 after the hour of 8. Here's Susan. Start me up. 24 after the hour of 8 o'clock, 8:24, 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station. Just a remarkable guest. We are talking, again, the Church of Scientology. When you take the opportunity, you got to take it on this movement, this cult, and what it's doing in the country. Our guest is Bruce Hines. I'm Peter Boyles. This is KHOW Radio. We're talking off air about Nicole Kidman, who was at one time married to Tom Cruise, and you were sent to Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, this was in 1993 or 1994. I was working at the time at the secret international headquarters near Hemet, California, which is about 90 miles east of L.A. It's a big 50-acre compound that Scientologists even, the run-of-the-mill Scientologist doesn't even know where it is. Anyway, she had done up through what's called OT2. It's level operating Thetan 2. And
again, how you can go to 8.
That's right.
Okay.
And then she had to go off and film something. When you're doing Scientology, when you do OT2, you should do OT3 right away because you find out about this huge 75 million year ago incident on OT3, and it explains everything. Anyway, there was some concern, and I don't really know what they knew, that she was losing interest in Scientology or was drifting away. Mm-hmm. And so I was sent to L.A., and they arranged for her to go to the Celebrity Center in L.A. to meet me, and I gave her an auditing session.
What happens on an auditing session?
Well, it's pretty complicated, actually. You go in a room, you put an in-session sign on the door, you have an e-meter, a Hubbard electrometer, it's called. Mm-hmm. It's just
you hold the cans.
You hold 2 cans. It's basically, it works like a lie detector. It's a device that measures electrical resistance is what it really is. And you ask questions. These are very specific questions. And you watch to see how this e-meter reacts. And what's supposed to happen, what the theory is or what they tell you, is that you release charge. Charge is harmful energy in the mind that can affect you in some way.
That's why you get depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And so when I audited Nicole Kidman, I was asking her about upsets, about problems, about things she wasn't talking about. And I found her to be quite charming. Mm-hmm. She seemed pretty happy in life. Mm-hmm. She didn't seem bothered by anything. And she went away just like everything's fine. This was not acceptable when I turned in my report. You have to always write these reports. They felt like I must have missed something.
Sounds like J. Edgar Hoover. Hoover did that. This is not the report I want.
We'll
be back.
That's right. Yeah. And so I actually had to do, they send you to cramming, they call it. I had to do a correction. I had to study and practice how I ask my questions because they felt, oh, no, that couldn't be. She couldn't be losing interest and still be happy. There'd have to be something evil happening with her. And so anyway, that was the last dealings I had with her, and I know that they divorced and she left some years later. Yeah. But anyway, at that time, when it was perceived that she might be losing interest, there's always an effort to corral the sheep back into the pen. Mm-hmm. And they'll do that with most anybody, but particularly a high-profile person. They get very nervous if they seem to be leaving or no longer
interested.
Yeah, interested, okay. And it's more than that. It's like you're a Scientologist. You have this dedicated fervor, mm-hmm. and you're going to, support the cause. And,
is Tom Cruise very smart?
Well, I sort of figured he was sort of an average sort of guy.
Okay.
I mean, it is known that he even has said this, that he had dyslexia when he was going to school. He had a hard time. Yeah. And he struck me as being sort of like a PR guy, kind of smiley and shake your hand.
Hail fellow well met.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And he didn't strike me as the sharpest tool in the shed, really, when I met him. Yeah. I don't want to say he was dumb or anything like that.
Yeah, but I think he's a lightweight from everything I've read. Mm-hmm. And so you'd have to buy into this stuff.